The Velen Empire had ruled the galaxy for 3,000 years. They had conquered hundreds of worlds. They had destroyed any species that refused to bow. Their warships filled the stars like angry metal insects. Every corner of known space belonged to them. Admiral Tarek stood on the bridge of his command ship. He watched the endless darkness through the viewing window. Behind him, his crew worked at their stations. Everything was quiet. Everything was normal. The border of Sector 7 was always boring. Nothing ever happened here. Then the alarm rang. Tarek turned around quickly. His advisor, a female officer named Mira, was staring at her screen. Her face had gone pale. "What is it?" Tarek demanded. "A ship, Admiral. It just appeared from uncharted space." Tarek walked to her station and looked at the screen. A single vessel floated in the darkness. It was not large. It was not small. It was shaped like nothing he had ever seen before. "Run identification," he ordered. Myra's fingers moved across her controls. She checked the database. The Velen Empire had records of 12,000 species. They had files on every ship design in the galaxy. The computer searched through all of them. Nothing matched. Unknown design, Admiral. Unknown origin. Unknown species. Tarek felt a small spark of interest. This was unusual. In his 200 years of service, he had never seen anything truly unknown. Every ship, every species, every world had already been cataloged by the Empire. "Primitive explorers," he said finally. "Some backwater species that crawled out of their hole. Send 3 cruisers. Standard intimidation protocol. Make them surrender." Myra hesitated. "Should we try to communicate first?" "Why? They will surrender or they will die. Those are the only 2 options anyone has when they meet the Velen Empire." 3 cruisers broke away from the fleet. They moved toward the unknown ship with weapons ready. Tarek watched with bored eyes. He had done this 1,000 times. Every species reacted the same way. They would see the cruisers. They would feel fear. They would surrender. Far away, on the bridge of the USS Horizon, Captain David Cole watched the alien ships approach. He was a tall man with gray hair and calm eyes. He had spent 30 years in the Navy. He had seen combat. He had faced death. But he had never seen anything like this. 3 vessels incoming, reported Lieutenant Maya Ross. She sat at the tactical station, her fingers resting near the weapons controls. "They are powering weapons." "Shields up," Cole said quietly. "But do not arm weapons." "Not yet." The bridge crew exchanged nervous glances. They were far from home. A navigation error had dropped them into this unknown region of space. They had no backup. They had no support. They were alone. "Try to contact them," Cole ordered. "All frequencies." Universal peace message. Ensign James Ward worked at the communication station. He was young, barely 25, but he was good at his job. He sent the message on every frequency the ship could broadcast. "This is the USS Horizon from the planet Earth. We come in peace. We mean no harm. Our arrival was an accident. We wish only to talk." The message went out into the void. Silence answered. On Tarek's command ship, Myra received the transmission. She played it for the Admiral. The words were strange. The language was unknown. But the translation software worked quickly. "They say they come in peace," Myra reported. "They say it was an accident." Tarek laughed. It was a cold, ugly sound. "They all say that. They all beg. Order the cruisers to fire. 1 volley. Destroy their engines. Then we will board them and take what we want." Myra sent the order. The 3 cruisers stopped moving. Their weapons glowed with deadly energy. Then they fired. 3 beams of blue light shot across space. They were powerful enough to crack a moon. They were the pride of the Velen Empire. Nothing had ever survived them. On the horizon, Maya Ross watched the incoming fire on her screen. Her heart beat fast. Her hands were steady. Incoming fire. Impact in 3 seconds. Captain Cole gripped his chair. Brace. The beams hit the horizon's shields. There was a flash of light. The ship shook slightly. Then everything was still. Maya stared at her readings. She checked them twice. She checked them 3 times. Shields holding at 98%. No damage. The bridge went silent. Everyone understood what this meant. The most powerful weapons in the galaxy had hit them, and they had felt almost nothing. On Torek's ship, the Admiral stared at his screen in shock. His cruisers had fired their main weapons. The unknown ship should have been torn apart. Instead, it floated there unchanged. Its hull was not scratched. Its systems were not damaged. Fire again, he ordered. His voice was tight. The cruisers fired again. And again. Blue beams of death crossed the void over and over. The horizon shields flashed with each impact. But they held. They always held. Inside the horizon, Captain Cole watched the assault continue. His ship could take this punishment for hours. Days even. The alien weapons were powerful, but they were primitive compared to human technology. They are getting scared, Maya observed. Their firing rate is increasing. They are panicking. Toll nodded slowly. He had hoped for a peaceful first contact. He had hoped to meet new friends among the stars. Instead, he had found an empire that shot first and asked questions never. Keep broadcasting the peace message, he ordered. Do not return fire. I will not start a war today. Ensign Ward kept sending the message. Over and over, the same words went out. We come in peace. We mean no harm. Please respond. Far away, Admiral Torek made a decision he had never made before. He ordered his cruisers to retreat. The unknown ship was too strong. He needed more firepower. He needed the entire fleet. As his cruisers fled back to safety, Torek recorded an emergency message to High Command. His hands were shaking. His voice was steady, but fear lived in every word. This is Admiral Torek, Sector 7 Command. We have encountered an unknown vessel of unknown origin. Our weapons are ineffective. Their shields are beyond anything in our records. I am requesting immediate reinforcement. Full battle fleet. This is not a drill. He sent the message. Then he sat down in his chair and stared at the viewing window. The unknown ship still floated there in the darkness. It had not moved. It had not attacked. It had simply waited. For 3,000 years, the Velen Empire had been the strongest power in the galaxy. They had crushed everyone. They had feared nothing. Today, for the first time, Admiral Torek felt true fear. Out there in the dark, something had arrived. Something that did not fear the Empire. Something that their weapons could not hurt. And it was just sitting there, watching, waiting. To REK. Did not know what would happen next. But he knew one thing for certain. Everything was about to change. The message from Admiral Torek traveled across the stars at impossible speed. It passed through relay stations and communication hubs. It crossed thousands of light years in just a few hours. Finally, it reached the throne world of Valaxis. Emperor Kaldan sat on his ancient throne. He was old. Very old. He had ruled the Velen Empire for 800 years. He had seen wars. He had seen rebellions. He had crushed them all. Nothing surprised him anymore. Until today. General Voss played the message again. The War Council sat in silence. They watched Admiral Torek's face on the screen. They heard the fear in his voice. They saw the tactical data scroll past. This is impossible, said one of the council members. Our weapons are the strongest in the galaxy. Apparently not, General Voss replied. His voice was cold and hard. The unknown vessel absorbed 12 direct hits from our main cannons. Their shields did not even flicker. Emperor Calden raised one withered hand. The room went silent. What do we know about this ship? General Voss pulled up the sensor data. It is approximately 400 meters long. Single vessel. No escort ships detected. Hull composition is unknown. Shield frequency is unlike anything in our database. Their energy output is... He paused. Their energy output is 10 times higher than our largest battleship. The council members whispered to each other. Fear spread through the room like poison. One ship, the Emperor said slowly. One small ship. And it is more powerful than our entire fleet. We do not know that for certain, General Voss said carefully. We only know that Admiral Torik's cruisers could not damage it. Perhaps a full battle fleet would have different results. The Emperor thought about this. His ancient eyes looked at the image of the unknown vessel on the screen. It was not beautiful. It was not ugly. It was simply different. Completely, utterly different from anything the Velans had ever seen. Send the fleet, he ordered. 40 warships. Surround this vessel. Surround this vessel. If they will not surrender, destroy them. Far away, on the bridge of the USS Horizon, Dr. Helen Park studied the alien ships on her scanner. She was the chief science officer. It was her job to understand new things. And these aliens were very new. Captain, she said, I have completed my analysis of their technology. David Cole turned to face her. What did you find? They are advanced. Their ships are well built. Their weapons are powerful. She paused. But their technology is based on principles we abandoned decades ago. Their shields are static. They cannot adapt to new frequencies. Their weapons are strong but slow. They need 3 seconds to recharge between shots. Maya Ross looked up from her tactical station. 3 seconds? Our point defense systems can neutralize dozens of threats per second. Exactly, Dr. Park said. If this becomes a fight, they will lose. Badly. Captain Cole did not look happy. He had not come here to fight. He had not come here to kill. The Horizon was an exploration ship. Yes, it had weapons. Yes, it had shields. But its mission was peaceful. Keep broadcasting, he said to Ensign Ward. Maybe they will listen eventually. Hours passed. The Horizon floated alone in the darkness. Its crew waited and watched. Then the sensors detected something new. Multiple contacts, Maya reported. Her voice was tight. 40 warships. They are surrounding us. Cole stood up from his chair. He walked to the viewing window. Outside, he could see them now. 40 alien warships formed a ring around his ship. Their weapons glowed with blue fire. They were ready for war. They really do not want to talk, he muttered. The communications panel crackled. A voice came through. It was deep and commanding. Unknown vessel. This is Fleet Admiral Soren of the Velan Empire. You are surrounded. You cannot escape. Surrender immediately, and your crew will not be harmed. Cole walked back to his chair. Open a channel. Channel open, Captain. Fleet Admiral Soren. My name is David Cole. I am the captain of this ship. We are from a planet called Earth. We came here by accident. Our navigation system made an error. We did not mean to enter your space. We do not want to fight. There was a long pause. Then Soren's voice returned. You say you came by accident, but your ship is a warship. Your shields stopped our weapons. You came prepared for battle. We came prepared for anything, Cole admitted. Space is dangerous, but preparation is not the same as aggression. We have not fired a single shot. We have only defended ourselves. Another pause. Cole could imagine the alien admiral thinking about his words. Maybe, just maybe, there was still hope for peace. Then a new voice cut through the channel. It was young and arrogant. Enough talking. I am Prince Rylan, son of Emperor Kaldun. You will surrender now, or you will die. The Velen Empire does not negotiate with primitives. Cole closed his eyes. He knew that tone. He had heard it before, in many places, in many times. It was the voice of someone who had never been told no. Someone who believed they were better than everyone else. Prince Rylan, Cole said carefully, I urge you to reconsider. We do not want violence, but we will defend ourselves. The prince laughed. You cannot defend against the might of the Empire. All ships, open fire. Destroy them. 40 warships fired at once. The void filled with blue light. It was beautiful and terrible at the same time. Enough firepower to destroy a planet came racing toward the horizon. The shields flashed. The ship shook. Alarms rang briefly. Then everything was still. Shields holding at 91%, Maya reported. 40 warships. Full barrage. And they had done almost nothing. Keep broadcasting, Cole ordered. His voice was tired now. Maybe they will stop. They did not stop. The barrage continued. Shot after shot hit the horizon's shields. The ship shook and rocked, but it did not break. It did not bend. Then something changed. A lucky shot from one of the Velen ships hit a specific spot on the hull. There was a spark. A system failed. Captain, Ensign Ward shouted. The communication array is damaged. We cannot broadcast anymore. Cole felt his heart sink. The peace message was their only hope. Without it, they were just a silent enemy to the violence. Can you fix it? Not while we are under fire. The damage is external. Another barrage hit the shields. The lights flickered. The ship groaned. Maya Ross looked at her captain. Sir, they will not stop. They will keep firing until our shields fail. That could take hours. Or days. But eventually, it will happen. Cole knew she was right. He had tried everything. He had broadcast peace. He had shown restraint. He had taken their attacks without fighting back. But none of it had worked. Options? He asked. We could jump to hyperspace. Run away. They cannot catch us. And then what? They will think we are scouts. They will prepare for an invasion that will never come. They will attack other ships. Other species. Maya nodded slowly. Then we have only one option left. Cole sat down in his chair. He felt very old. Very tired. He had not wanted this. He had never wanted this. Target their weapons and engines only. No kill shots. Disable them. Nothing more. Understood, Captain. The horizon had been silent for hours. It had taken everything the Velen Empire could throw at it. Now, finally, it spoke back. Its weapons fired. The Velen ships were not ready. They had never faced an enemy that could actually hurt them. The horizon's beams cut through their shields like they were made of paper. Ship after ship went dark. Weapons exploded. Engines died in 90 seconds. 20 Velen warships were disabled. They floated in space, dead and broken. The other 20 stopped firing. They pulled back in terror. On the Prince's flagship, chaos filled the bridge. Systems were failing. Fires were burning. The life support was dying. Prince Rylan lay on the floor, bleeding from a wound on his head. He could not believe what had happened. His fleet, his mighty fleet, destroyed in 90 seconds. The last thing he heard before darkness took him was a human voice on the emergency channel. All Velen vessels. This is Captain Cole. Cease fire and we will provide assistance. Your wounded will be treated. Your ships will be helped. Please, let us end this." Then the prince closed his eyes and knew nothing more. The battlefield was silent now. 20 Velen warships drifted through space like broken toys. Their lights were dark. Their weapons were cold. Smoke and fire leaked from holes in their hulls. The other 20 ships had retreated to a safe distance. They watched and waited, too afraid to attack again. On the bridge of the USS Horizon, Captain David Cole stood at the viewing window. He could see the damage his ship had caused. He felt sick. He had joined the Navy to explore, to discover, to protect. Not to destroy. Life signs? He asked quietly. Maya Ross checked her sensors. Multiple life signs on the disabled vessels. Many are wounded. Some ships have lost life support. If we do not help them, they will die. Cole did not hesitate. Launch rescue shuttles. All medical teams. Save everyone we can. Commander Lisa Chun, his executive officer, stepped forward. Captain, those ships attacked us. Their crews tried to kill us. Are you sure we should help them? I am sure, Cole said firmly. We are not executioners. We are humans. We help people. Even people who tried to hurt us. The shuttle bay doors opened. Small rescue craft launched into space. They flew toward the broken Velen ships. Human doctors and medics were inside, ready to save lives. On the damaged flagship, Prince Rylan woke up slowly. His head hurt. His body ached. He could smell smoke and blood. Around him, his crew lay scattered across the broken bridge. Some were moving. Some were not. Then he heard a strange sound. A door opening. Footsteps. Someone was coming. Rylan tried to reach for his weapon. His arm would not move. It was broken. He could only lie there and wait. A figure appeared through the smoke. It was strange looking. 2 arms. 2 legs. Soft skin. No scales. No claws. It wore a white uniform with a red symbol on the shoulder. Hold still, the figure said. Its voice was gentle. You are badly hurt. I am a doctor. I am here to help. Rylan stared at the creature. This was a human. One of the enemies. One of the people who had destroyed his fleet. And it was. Helping him? Why? Rylan whispered. The doctor looked at him with soft eyes. Because you need help. That is reason enough. Dr. Helen Park worked quickly. She cleaned the prince's wounds. She set his broken arm. She gave him medicine for the pain. All around the flagship, other human medics did the same thing. They saved Velen lives. They treated Velen wounds. They pulled Velen sailors from burning rooms and broken corridors. The surviving Velen officers watched in confusion. This made no sense. In their culture, defeated enemies were killed or enslaved. No one helped them. No one showed them mercy. Back on the horizon, Captain Cole received reports from the rescue teams. Over 200 Velen crew members had been saved. Many more had been treated and left on their ships. The flagship was stable now. Its life support had been repaired by human engineers. Prince Rylan is alive, Dr. Park reported. He is in our medical bay. His injuries are serious, but not fatal. Good, Cole said. Take care of him. He is our guest, not our prisoner. Maya Ross frowned. Captain, that prince ordered the attack. He's the reason we had to fight. Should we really treat him as a guest? Cole turned to look at her. What would you have me do, Lieutenant? Throw him in a cell? Torture him? Kill him? Is that what humans do? Maya lowered her eyes. No, Captain. It is not. No, it is not. We are better than that. We have to be better than that. Otherwise, what is the point of any of this? Hours passed. The Velen survivors were treated and fed. They were given clean clothes and warm beds. They were confused. They were scared. But slowly, they began to understand that these strange creatures meant them no harm. Prince Rylan woke up again in a clean white room. The bed was soft. The air was fresh. A young human sat in a chair nearby, watching him. "Who are you?" Rylan demanded. "Sergeant Mike Torres," the human said. "I am here to make sure you are okay. Do you need anything? Water? Food?" Rylan stared at him. "You are a soldier?" "Marine, actually. But yes, I am a fighter. And you are guarding me?" "I am watching over you." There's a difference. Rylan did not understand. In the Velen Empire, guards were meant to keep prisoners from escaping. They were cruel and harsh. This human was polite, almost friendly. "I ordered my fleet to destroy your ship," Rylan said slowly. "I tried to kill you. All of you." Torres nodded. "Yeah, you did. And now you are bringing me water and asking if I need food? That is what we do. You are hurt. You are our guest. We take care of guests. Even guests who tried to murder you?" Torres smiled. It was a strange expression. Not cruel, not angry, just warm. Especially those. "Maybe if we treat you well, you will think twice before attacking the next ship you meet." Rylan lay back on his pillow. His mind was spinning. Everything he had been taught about war and honor and strength was falling apart. The Velen way was simple. The strong ruled. The weak served. Enemies were destroyed. Mercy was weakness, but these humans had mercy. They had shown kindness to their enemies, and they were far stronger than the Velen Empire. How could both things be true? On the Horizons Bridge, Captain Cole received a message from the Velen fleet. Admiral Soren's face appeared on the screen. He looked tired and afraid. "Captain Cole, I do not understand what is happening. You have destroyed half our ships. You could destroy the rest. Why have you stopped? Why are you helping our people?" Cole sat in his chair and looked at the alien commander. "Admiral Soren, I did not come here to fight. I did not want to hurt anyone. I only fired because your prince gave me no choice. Now the fighting is done, and there are people who need help. Your people, but we are your enemies. You attacked us. That does not make us enemies forever. It makes us strangers who had a bad first meeting. Maybe the second meeting can be better." Soren was silent for a long moment. "I have served the Empire for 300 years. I have fought in dozens of wars. I have never met anyone like you. Your people are strange, Captain Cole. Maybe, or maybe your empire has just never met anyone who thought there was another way." Another message arrived. This one was from Valaxis. From the Emperor himself. Emperor Calden's ancient face filled the screen. His eyes were cold and calculating. "Human Captain, you have destroyed half my fleet. You hold my son as prisoner. What do you want? What are your demands?" Cole stood up straight. He looked the Emperor in the eye. "I have no demands, Emperor. I want nothing from you. I only want to return your son and your people, and then leave your space in peace. We did not come here for war. We do not want your territory. We do not want your resources. We only want to go home." The Emperor stared at him. For 800 years, he had dealt with enemies. All of them wanted something: power, land, revenge. This human wanted nothing at all. "You are lying," the Emperor said slowly. "No one is this generous. No one shows mercy without expecting something in return. Then maybe you have never met humans before." The Emperor went silent. In the background of his throne room, his advisors whispered to each other. They did not know what to do. They had no protocol for this. No plan. No strategy. We will speak again, the Emperor said finally. Do not harm my son. I would never harm him. He's being cared for as we speak. Your doctors can examine him themselves if you wish. The screen went dark. Cole sat back down in his chair. His body was tired. His mind was racing. Beside him, Commander Chun shook her head slowly. Do you think they understood? Do you think they believe us? Cole looked out at the stars. Somewhere out there, the Velen Empire was trying to figure out what to do. They had met something new. Something they could not conquer. Something they could not understand. I do not know if they believe us, Cole admitted. But maybe, just maybe, we have given them something to think about. And sometimes, that is how change begins. 3 days passed. The broken Velen ships were repaired enough to limp home. The wounded were healed enough to travel. But Prince Ryland stayed on the horizon. He had requested it himself. At first, Captain Cole was suspicious. Was this a trick? Was the prince spying on them? Learning their secrets? But as the days went by, Cole realized the truth. The prince was not spying. He was learning. And what he was learning was changing him. Sergeant Mike Torres became the prince's unofficial guide. He showed Rylan around the ship. They visited the cafeteria, where human crew members ate and laughed together. They visited the recreation room, where people played games and watched movies. They visited the engine room, where Tom Bradley and his team kept the ship running. You let your workers rest? Rylan asked, watching engineers play cards during their break. Of course, Torres said. People work better when they are happy. When they are rested. We learned that a long time ago. In the Empire, workers do not rest. They work until they cannot work anymore. Then they are replaced. Torres shook his head. That sounds awful. How can anyone be loyal to a system like that? They are not loyal. They are afraid. Fear keeps the Empire together. Fear is a weak glue, Torres said. Love is stronger. Respect is stronger. People who follow you because they believe in you will fight harder than people who follow you because they are scared of you. Rylan thought about this. He thought about his own soldiers, his own servants. None of them loved him. None of them respected him. They obeyed because they feared what would happen if they did not. And these humans, who showed kindness to their enemies, had destroyed his fleet in 90 seconds. Maybe there was something to what Torres said. Far away from the horizon, Earth received an emergency message. The signal traveled faster than light, bouncing through relay stations until it reached headquarters. The leaders of Earth read the report with growing concern. One of their ships was trapped in unknown space. It had fought a battle against an alien empire. It was currently holding an alien prince as a guest. The situation was complicated, dangerous, but also full of possibility. Ambassador Kate Miller was chosen for the mission. She was the best diplomat Earth had. She had ended wars. She had built alliances. She had turned enemies into friends more times than anyone could count. A small fleet was assembled. 3 ships, all armed, but with weapons cold. They jumped through hyperspace, following the horizon signal. 2 days later, they arrived. Captain Cole watched the new ships appear on his sensors. Relief flooded through him. For days, he had been alone. Now, he had support. He had backup. He had someone who could handle the diplomatic mess he had created. Ambassador Miller came aboard the horizon within the hour. She was a small woman with gray hair and sharp eyes. She moved quickly, spoke directly, and wasted no time on pleasantries. Captain Cole, you have done well. Better than well. You could have destroyed that fleet completely. You chose mercy instead. That gives us something to work with. I hope so, Ambassador. I did not come here to start a war. And you will not. Not if I have anything to say about it. Miller met with Prince Rylan that same day. They talked for hours. She asked him about the Velen Empire, its history, its culture, its leaders. Rylan answered everything. He had no reason to hide anything. These humans could have killed him. Instead, they had saved his life and treated him with kindness. Why does your empire conquer? Miller asked. What is the purpose? Rylan thought carefully. Because we can. Because we are strong. The strong rule. The weak serve. This is the natural order of things, is it? Look at my people. We are stronger than your empire. We could conquer you if we wanted, but we choose not to. Does that make us weak? I do not know anymore. Your empire rules through fear, but fear creates resentment, rebellion, hatred. The species you have conquered do not love you. They wait for the day you become weak. Then they will turn on you. Rylan knew she was right. There had been rebellions before. Many rebellions. The empire had crushed them all. But they kept happening. Over and over. Because the conquered peoples never stopped hating their masters. What is the alternative? Rylan asked. If not conquest, then what? Miller smiled. Partnership. Trade. Cooperation. You share your strengths. Others share theirs. Everyone benefits. Everyone grows stronger together. That sounds idealistic. It sounds difficult, Miller corrected. It is difficult. Humans learned this the hard way. We had wars. Terrible wars. We nearly destroyed ourselves more than once. But we learned. Slowly. Painfully. We learned that working together brings more than fighting. Rylan was silent for a long time. His whole life, he had been taught that power came from domination. Now, a species stronger than his own was telling him that true power came from cooperation. Thought it was hard to accept. But the evidence was right in front of him. These humans could crush the Velen Empire. Instead, they wanted to be friends. Ambassador Miller sent a message to Emperor Calden. She requested a meeting. A peaceful discussion on neutral ground. No weapons. No threats. Just talking. The Emperor agreed. He had no choice. His fleet had been humiliated. His son was in human hands. And he still did not understand these strange creatures who showed mercy to their enemies. The meeting took place on an abandoned space station between the borders. Miller came with a small team. Emperor Calden came with his advisors. Prince Rylan was returned to his father, healthy and whole. You kept your word, the Emperor said, looking at his son. He is unharmed. I told you he would be, Miller replied. We do not lie, Emperor. We do not make promises we cannot keep. The negotiations lasted for days. Miller explained humanity's history. The wars, the mistakes, the long climb toward peace. She did not pretend that humans were perfect. She admitted their flaws, their failures, their dark chapters. We've done terrible things to each other, she said. But we learned. We grew. We realized that every war cost us more than we gained. Every enemy we made came back to haunt us. The only way forward was to stop making enemies and start making friends. Emperor Calden listened. He was 800 years old. He had seen everything. He had done everything. He had never, in all his long life, heard anyone talk like this. You want peace, he said slowly. True peace. Not surrender. Not domination. Just peace. Yes, we want to trade with you. Learn from you. Share knowledge. Explore the galaxy together. Your empire has existed for 3,000 years. You must have wisdom we do not. And maybe we have wisdom you do not. Together, we could build something better than either of us could build alone. General Voss leaned forward. And if we refuse? If we continue to fight? Miller looked at him with sad eyes. Then we will defend ourselves. And you will lose. Not because we want you to lose, but because your weapons cannot hurt us, and ours can hurt you. That is not a threat. It is simply the truth. I would rather not prove it. The Emperor thought for a very long time. Around him, his advisors whispered and argued. Some wanted to fight. Some wanted to flee. Some wanted to accept the human offer. Finally, the ancient ruler made his decision. We will try your way, he said. Peace, cooperation, partnership. These are strange words to the Velen Empire. But perhaps it is time we learn new words. Miller smiled. It was a warm, genuine smile. That is all we ask, Emperor. A chance. Nothing more. On the way back to his ship, General Voss walked beside his aide. His face was troubled. For 3,000 years, we thought we ruled the galaxy, he muttered. We thought we were the strongest, the wisest, the best. His aide nodded nervously. And now? Voss looked up at the stars. Somewhere out there, the human fleet waited, peaceful, patient, impossibly powerful. Now I know the truth. We were children playing with sticks, and we never even knew it. 1 year had passed since the Horizon stumbled into Velen space. 1 year since the battle that changed everything. 1 year since two civilizations met and chose peace over war. Earth's solar system was busy. Ships came and went from every direction. Human vessels. Velen vessels. Even a few ships from other species, watching curiously from a safe distance. They had heard the stories. They wanted to see for themselves. The Galactic Peace Summit was about to begin. President Anna Brooks stood at the window of the conference center. Behind her, aides rushed back and forth, preparing for the historic event. In front of her, the blue curve of Earth filled the view. Her homeworld. Her responsibility. Her hope. The Velen delegation has arrived, an aide reported. Emperor Calden is leading them personally. Brooks turned around. Personally? That is unexpected. He said he wanted to show respect. He has never visited another civilization's homeworld before. Brooks nodded slowly. This was a good sign. A very good sign. When ancient emperors traveled in person, it meant they took things seriously. The summit hall was enormous. Hundreds of seats filled the space. Delegates from Earth sat on one side. Delegates from the Velen Empire sat on the other. In the galleries above, observers from a dozen other species watched with wide eyes. Admiral David Cole entered the hall and took his seat near the front. He was not Captain Cole anymore. His actions in Velen space had earned him promotion after promotion. Now he led the entire exploration fleet. But he still wore the same calm expression. He still carried the same quiet strength. Beside him sat the crew of the Horizon. Maya Ross, Lisa Chun, Tom Bradley, James Ward, Helen Park, Mike Torres. They had become famous. Heroes of two civilizations. The people who had chosen mercy when violence was easier. Emperor Calden entered next. He moved slowly, his ancient body supported by his ceremonial staff. Behind him came his advisors, his generals, and his family. Prince Rylan walked at his father's side, his face thoughtful and serious. The two groups faced each other across the hall. For a moment, no one spoke. The weight of history pressed down on everyone. Then President Brooks stepped forward and extended her hand. Emperor Calden, welcome to Earth. Welcome to our home. The Emperor looked at her hand. In Velen culture, such gestures did not exist. But he had learned much in the past year. He had learned that humans valued these small symbols of respect. Slowly, he reached out and took her hand. The hall erupted in applause. Humans and Velans clapped together. In the galleries, observers from other species stared in amazement. They had never seen anything like this. Two powerful civilizations meeting as equals. As friends, the speeches began. Admiral Cole spoke first. He stood at the podium, looking out at the gathered crowd. His voice was steady and clear. 1 year ago, my ship entered Velan space by accident. We were lost. We were alone. And we were attacked by forces that wanted to destroy us. He paused. I had a choice in that moment. I could have fought back immediately. I could have destroyed the ships that were firing on us. My weapons were stronger. My shields were better. Victory would have been easy. The hall was silent. Everyone listened. But I did not fight back. Not at first. I tried to talk. I tried to explain. I tried to find another way. When I finally did fight, I fought only to defend. Not to conquer. Not to destroy. And when the battle was over, I did something that confused our new Velan friends. I helped them. He looked at Emperor Calden. I sent doctors to heal your wounded. I sent engineers to repair your ships. I saved your son's life. Not because I expected anything in return, but because that is what humans do. We help people, even people who tried to hurt us. Cole stepped back from the podium. That choice, that decision to show mercy instead of strength, is what brought us here today. It is what made this summit possible. It is what I hope will guide both our peoples into the future. The applause was long and loud. Emperor Calden spoke next. His voice was old and rough, but it carried clearly through the hall. For 3,000 years, the Velan Empire has ruled through strength. We conquered the weak. We destroyed our enemies. We believed this was the natural order. The only order. He shook his head slowly. We were wrong. A murmur ran through the Velan delegates. They had never heard their emperor admit error before. The humans showed us another way. They had the power to destroy us. Instead, they offered mercy. They had the strength to conquer us. Instead, they offered friendship. At first, I did not understand. I thought it was a trick, a trap. I waited for them to reveal their true intentions. The old emperor almost smiled. Their true intentions were exactly what they claimed. Peace, cooperation, partnership. They wanted nothing from us except the chance to know us, to learn from us, to share the stars with us. He raised his staff. Today, I announced that the Velan Empire will change. We will become the Velan Commonwealth. Our subject worlds will have greater freedom, greater rights, greater voices. We will not rule through fear anymore. We will lead through example. The Velan delegates looked shocked. Some looked angry, but most looked thoughtful. Changed Doc Prince Ryland stood up next. He walked to the podium and looked out at the crowd. 1 year ago, I ordered an attack on a human ship. I was arrogant. I was foolish. I believed that strength was the only thing that mattered. I believed that mercy was weakness. He looked at Admiral Cole. I woke up in a human medical bay. I expected torture. I expected death. Instead, I found kindness. A doctor healed my wounds. A soldier brought me food and water. They treated me not as an enemy, but as a guest. As a person. His voice grew stronger. That experience changed me. It changed how I see the universe. It changed how I see my own people. And it changed what I want to be. He stood tall. I have requested, and my father has approved, my appointment as the Velan ambassador to Earth. I will spend the rest of my life building bridges between our peoples, learning from humans, teaching them about Velans, making sure that the peace we found by accident becomes a peace that lasts forever. The applause was thunderous. The summit continued for 3 days. Treaties were signed. Trade agreements were made. Cultural exchanges were planned. Science teams were formed. For the first time in history, humans and Velans would work together, explore together, grow together. Other species watched from the galleries. They had lived under Velan rule for centuries. They had been conquered, oppressed, forgotten. Now they saw something new, something different, something hopeful. One by one, they began to send messages to Earth, to the new Velan Commonwealth. They wanted to join. They wanted to be part of this new order. They wanted to believe that the galaxy could change. On the final day of the summit, the Stellar Accords were signed, a treaty of mutual defense, trade, and cooperation between Earth and the Velan Commonwealth. The first step towards something larger, something better. That evening, Lieutenant Maya Ross stood alone on the observation deck of the Horizon. The ship was leaving Earth soon. They had a new mission. 3 more civilizations had been detected in the outer spiral arm. First contact was waiting. Sergeant Torres found her there, staring at the stars. "You look thoughtful," he said. "I am thinking about how different things could have been. If Captain Cole had fired first, if he had destroyed the Velan fleet, we would not be here. There would be no summit, no treaty. Just 2 peoples hating each other across the void." Torres nodded. "Yeah, one choice, one moment, and everything changed. Do you think we can keep doing this? Keep meeting new species and showing them mercy? Keep turning enemies into friends?" Torres smiled. "I think we can try. That is all anyone can do. Try, hope, believe that there is good in the universe, and work to bring it out." The ship's engines hummed to life. The stars began to stretch into lines as the horizon prepared to jump. Maya watched Earth grow small behind them. Her homeworld, her anchor, her hope. "The galaxy is big," she said quietly. "There are countless worlds out there, countless species. Some will be friendly, some will be hostile, some will be scared. And we will meet them all," Torres said. "We will show them who we are. Not conquerors, not destroyers, just humans. Strange, stubborn, merciful humans who keep believing in peace even when it seems impossible." The horizon jumped into hyperspace. The stars became streaks of light. The ship raced toward the unknown. Behind them, Earth and the Velan Commonwealth worked together. Trade flourished. Cultures mixed. Old enemies became new friends. The galaxy was changing, slowly, painfully, beautifully. And somewhere out there, in the endless darkness between stars, other species waited. They had heard the stories. They had seen the impossible happen. They wondered if these strange creatures called humans would really be different, really be better. Soon they would find out. The horizon flew on, carrying its crew toward the next adventure, the next first contact, the next chance to choose mercy over violence. Maya Ross smiled as the universe spread out. Before her, humanity had stumbled into the galaxy by accident. They had made enemies by misunderstanding, and they had earned friends through compassion. Out there, countless worlds waited. Some would welcome them, some would fear them, some would fight them. But whatever happened, humanity would face it the same way they always had, with courage, with curiosity, with kindness. And with the unshakable belief that even the worst enemy could become the best friend. The story was not over. It was just beginning.